E3 has never been this silent this year. This war has never been this quiet because no one has ever talked about it. And there were no news or any new games that no companies were giving us to give us goosebumps. These companies are still standing to this day. Companies like Microsoft, EA, maybe Square Enix, and Nintendo. 2.5 of these big companies are willing to stand their ground. And now we have a fallen soldier this year, Sony. They screwed up last year. And now for that we have to wait for them to talk about their new baby, the PlayStation 5, which will be talked about next year. For their failure, we have to give our prayers to Sony. Sony, you have been the best company, but don't forget, you will not be forgotten this year. You will redeem yourself. Sony, why'd you have to screw up, man? With that out of the way, let's see what these companies have to offer, and that will determine who would win this year's E3. Starting off with E3, we have EA Play. They have their own press conference, which started like 2 to 3 years ago. But other than that, their conference suck. They don't even show good games. They don't have anything to compete with any other companies to win E3. The only good game that they have this year is Star Wars, the new Star Wars game that will be released in around between November and December. But that's the only thing that could get me excited, but nothing else. And that's really disappointing. They're always trash. They'll never learn to succeed. The next company that will also be participating in E3 is Microsoft. This will be the longest presentation that we will ever face this year. And they might win E3, possibly, because last year they won E3. Microsoft will also talk about the new xCloud, their new project, their new weapon. Who knows, it might be bad or good. We also have their own games that they could announce to us, which is Cyberpunk 2077. We might get some gameplay or announced date. There's one game that they could steal from Square Enix, and that could be the new Avengers game. They probably won't show it for Sony, but they will show it for Microsoft. They might also steal another game from Square Enix, which is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We really waited for this game to come out or even talk about it. Microsoft, they're like pirates. They could steal whatever they want, but they could steal 2 games like it's nothing. They could really steal 2 games for this year. Lastly, there's another game that we could talk about, or they could talk about, and they did announce it last year. The savior of Microsoft, which is Halo Infinite. Let's be honest, Halo might be really good this year. We have also another company that may be able to compete with Microsoft. But we have to talk about the greatest loss. The veteran of Nintendo, which is the president of Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Reggie! But who will be leading Nintendo on? And that really scares me personally because we don't know if Nintendo will have a good presentation. I don't know, but I really have hopes for them. Nintendo is also left vulnerable with Metroid Prime 4 being delayed and restarted, which really worries me, but I really appreciate it because Nintendo is doing their best to make a good game. Nintendo does have other weapons that they could use against other companies. One of them is a weaker weapon, which is the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's be honest, the presentation from the Pokemon company about Pokemon Sleep and all that stuff, it actually did put me to sleep. The next game that they might show is this new sexy weapon. And we all know it, probably. We probably all know it. But they might talk about Bayonetta 3. They might delay it, or they actually might talk about it and give us a teaser trailer. Lastly, they can also talk about the beautiful game that I'm actually quite excited to have or to own, Link's Awakening. And even though I didn't even hear about this game, Until then, I did research, and it was based off an original, if you guys didn't know. But for this new version, the remake version, might be pretty good, and I'm actually excited for them to talk about it and give us more information about this game. Alright, Nintendo, I really have hopes for you guys, and I hope that you guys make your battle as memorable as possible. With those companies out of the way, we should also remember other companies that have failed to have a good presentation throughout other or past E3 events. Even though I can't list any companies, but we should salute to them or give our prayers for them. Psych! You really think that we're gonna pray to these suckers? No, they're dead and they're forgotten. When they're mixed together, they should not be memorable. They're dead for a reason. And for that, we shall name these upcoming companies who will potentially die for this year's E3. Okay, let's open this up. Which company will actually die? Square Enix. Alright, because I didn't even talk about them. Because they might potentially die, because Microsoft could steal their games, and Square Enix could be really vulnerable, show their weakness, and not have any new games to announce. So for that, they're dead. Ubisoft. I was actually going to talk about them, but there's really nothing to talk about. There's no good games that I could actually look forward to, because all they have is Just Dance series. And why would they keep doing that? They know that it's really cringy. So for that, they're pretty dead. And lastly, but certainly not least, I don't know if I could find it. Hold on, I'm actually trying to look for one company, but isn't there a... Oh. Maybe look at that. The PC Gaming press conference is on the last page. The very last page. And they're really forgotten because they don't have any good games that really gets us excited. And plus the conference is really boring. So yeah, they're dead. E3 is gonna be a disappointing war. But you know what? I still have hopes for these companies. And this might be the least greatest war we'll ever face this year. But you know what? I'm still gonna be along for the ride. So make sure that you guys stay tuned to my channel. I will be recording my reaction for all of the companies. I will be posting small reaction to certain games that I would actually be excited about. I will post it immediately, and then I'll post a full montage every week. So please stay tuned for that. Okay, Microsoft and Nintendo and all the rest of the companies, we really hope that you give all your best for this year, because this is a new era. Your reputation is on the line. And we don't want to trash your company if you fail. So please do not fail or you'll be dead, alright? You should be armed, like me. You guys should be armed. You should not fail or you're dead. Again, don't die, okay? Oh, shoot! So, I just found out that the EA press conference might not happen this year. Well, you know what that means.